afternoon. Good afternoon. Today I am so excited to have with me our oldest daughter, Andrea, Derrick. And we are here and we're going to have a candid conversation with you. And what my husband and I generally do, and we say, Andrea, is that we're going to have a conversation and a chat.
That's right.
So we're going to have a conversation and chat. This is our oldest daughter, Andrea, and the mere fact that she is here is far from amazing. So it's far from amazing. So Andrea, is there something that you would like to say to everyone that's coming in your own words?
Sure. So, Mom, you're right. Typically, I am by myself. I like to be confined, but I felt like this was a good opportunity for not only just to talk to everyone else, and just to talk to you, so we'd have just a casual conversation and let people see what the Derrick household really is, but also to be vulnerable.
And to be vulnerable, yeah. Andrea was the firstborn also of the Reed clan, my maiden name, the Reed. She was the first girl and the first granddaughter. And so we often talk about all the things that God has allowed Andrea to do. And I'm not going to say how old you are. That is what I'm not going to say. But I can say that this child has made us so very, very proud of her. She has so many gifts and talents that's within her. And even as a young child, we realized that Andrea had the gift of health and encouragement. And she did not like to see anyone getting in trouble.
I didn't.
No. So we don't want to waste your time. We really want to get off into this conversation. We like to welcome you to the conversation and chat with Andrea and her mother. And the topic that we're going to be coming from is the cry of desperation. Now, Andrea, when you hear me saying the cry of desperation, what resonates in your mind with that?
There's two words.
Okay.
Cry means that you're asking for help. Anytime a person uses the word cry, that means you want some type of assistance in some way, shape, or form. And then to be desperate, that means that you're at your last piece of your life where it's just an entanglement of emotions and situations and you need some type of motivation from someone else. Wow.
I can't add anything else to that. If you're just now joining us, we just like for you to like and share this video. You can also find this video on YouTube later on. But this is a candid, real conversation between a mother and her daughter. So y'all know I have to put my glasses on, otherwise I won't be able to read what I have on here. I don't want to miss out on anything like mother, like daughter. Surviving life at the age of 16. So what I want you all to know that Andrea left home when she was 16 years old. And needless to say, we'll get off into that as to, the things that happened, the things that transpired. And if you have followed Andrea, if you have followed Mommy's Facebook page for any length of time, I do talk about some of the tragedies that happen in our life. And so when you left at the age of 16 and how you developed, and not only developed, but you managed to keep going in difficult circumstances, even at the age of 16. So many of you that are listening to us right now, maybe 16 years old, 15 years old, 14 years old, what moved you to want to leave at the age of 16?
That's a difficult question, and it's going to, Mama's going to make me show my vulnerable side. But at the beginning, I said I was going to show my vulnerability, and I think that's important. So the pressures of being a pastor's kid, if I don't explain it any other way, there are some serious pressures to being a pastor's kid. Number one, responsibility. It's an invisible weight of responsibility.
That's good, baby.
You know what I mean, Mommy? And it was like every day I had to try my best to be perfect in some way, shape, or form. So, and then it was battles of, you guys were always in the ministry, and we were in church Monday through Sunday almost. Whether it was worship or it was making sure that we were helping other people, we were donating time. And I grew up seeing that helping was a good thing, but I also grew up seeing that it is very difficult.
Yeah, yeah, very difficult. What about when you got to the pruning side? Like, I wasn't answering. So we call that the pruning side, you all, when things were happening and God was sort of trimming things away from Andrea, making you more responsible out there. Tell us a little bit about the pruning side.
Okay, so to all vulnerability, okay, let me be transparent.
Here
Use the
she
word,
go,
let's
yeah.
be transparent.
Yeah, here she go.
Okay, so being transparent, I was searching for a lot of things. And you know, being that age, you're searching for a lot. I think we got some stuff going on right now. So we were searching for a lot, right, during that time.
Yeah.
And then I figured out that there was a way for me to stop being so angry. I wanted attention a lot of the time. But the attention that I was receiving wasn't from the people I wanted. I wanted attention from you and Dad. But you guys always had to help other people. And I think that during that time frame, we understand as pastors' kids that is y'all's duty to God and to the people. But as the child at that particular point in my life, I wasn't getting that extra motivation that I would need in order to be able to deal with other people around me. So I wore my heart on my sleeve. And then on top of that, I made sure that instead of doing something that was good and coping with something, I would fight. I would fight. I would punch holes in walls. I would do things that would hurt myself. And that wasn't because I seen my parents do it. It wasn't like that. But that was my way of coping. Or I would get into drugs. Or I would hang with the wrong people on purpose.
Wow. Wow.
That's the pruning stage.
That's the pruning, the cutting away. And meanwhile, while the cutting away was going on with you, there was also pruning going on with me, asking myself, what did I do wrong to cause Andrea to want to leave home at 16 years old? In case you all are just now joining us, we just want to welcome you to just a conversation between a mother and a daughter that is now an adult. She has her own home. She's been through college. She's gone through getting her several degrees. She has the gift of help. She also is a coach. You help a lot of women, not only women, you help men. You do motivational speaking. But most of all, you have learned to love yourself first.
Oh, that's big, Mom. Yeah.
You have learned to love yourself first. So because that is so big, I want you to give our audience, those that are listening, how did you arrive at the point of loving Andrea enough to do what you're doing now?
That's unpacking a lot.
Oh my, yeah.
Okay, so I have my shirt on. I don't know if you can see, it says self-love.
Self-love.
And at the bottom it says you deserve it. Okay, so it took a long time because I thought that it was important for me to just help everybody else. Help everybody else. And I never thought that I actually mattered. And I believe it's more of an environmental perspective.
Okay.
I watch my parents, grandparents, aunts, nieces, nephews, people that we adopted into the family.
This
help
is true.
Every single person. So that was something I learned. It was a learned behavior. Helping is a good thing. But it's exhausting.
Wow, that's good, Andrea.
It's tiring to help people. I don't know. Some people out there believe in chakras and energy, right? But let's just look at it from a scientific.
What was that again?
Chakras and energy.
For those of you that don't know what that means, Andrea, I'm sure you're going to explain.
Well, a high-level overview is the way that your body interacts with the world. Karma, per se. You do something good, good follows. You do something bad, bad follows. And if you think about it, if you put yourself in a situation where I enjoy drinking coffee, and it puts that particular chakra, which is your alignment, your spiritual alignment, into perspective, and it gives you pleasure. So that's what helped me understand that, okay, there's something imbalanced in me. Like, okay, well, this is supposed to give me pleasure in some way, shape, or form and align me, but it's not. Why? Triggers for depression. I was depressed.
Wow. It
was depression.
So with the depression and then loving and finding yourself, loving you first, you arrived at the beginning of okay, now I want to move in with this person, and this person has a lot of kids, and I'm gonna make sure, because I was the oldest in the family, and for some reason I never got, as you said earlier, the attention that I needed. What made you always give every penny you had to others?
Okay, so that's good for me to go into this. So typically what happens when you're depressed, and I'm going to read something, you'll see my eyes go down slightly. So there's a few patterns that change. And understand that you possibly have hidden depression. So depression does hide itself depending on what levels it is.
Mm-hmm.
Low depression, you can hide that. I can throw a mask on because I was trained and skilled to speak in front of people and have a smile.
Mm-hmm.
I can mask that. You don't know what's going on inside me because I'm so used to helping you and letting you see what you want to see.
Mm-hmm.
So, patterns. This is how you know if something's hidden. Your sleep pattern changes, right? So maybe you oversleep or you undersleep.
Mm-hmm.
Your eating habits change. Let me tell you, I've gone through this struggle. Mama, me and you both have gone through this struggle.
Yes.
We were so large
Yes.
and then we shrank.
I think I was almost 300 pounds. Like, I was 297. I am not ashamed to admit that.
No.
Yeah. I didn't mean to interrupt you, but I'm going to tell y'all I was
tell 'em, Mama.
297.
Tell them the truth.
Yeah. Not 297 now, though.
I know, Mom, because this is smoothies for her.
Okay.
It's the smoothies.
Right. Thanks to you. Okay, carry on.
Okay, so then the next thing would be in regards to yourself, you're self-critical.
Mm-hmm.
So, earlier I was talking about the factor that I had to be a perfectionist.
Right.
So that's becoming an overindulged in perfectionism is a sign of hidden depression. Didn't know that. So I had to have a coach. Don't think that just you shouldn't. You need to have a life coach.
Explain that.
So I'm a self-life coach.
Yes, you are.
I am.
She does it well too.
I mean, it's because I've been through it, Mama.
That's true.
You can't
actually,
tell
let me just say this. The best teachers actually are those that have been proven, that have gone through it before.
Right.
So I tell y'all that all the time. So go ahead. Mama didn't mean to interrupt, but I did.
But it's true.
But it's true. Go ahead.
It's really hard to get advice, even though you have a whole lot of friends that may have an idea of
This
where
is
you're
good.
coming from, but they've never actually been through the same journey you've been in. So it's always good. It's crucial. It's not good. God is good.
Yeah.
But it's crucial that you get the right people in your circle.
Now, right there, hold on just a second. Y'all remember me telling y'all about make sure that when you do get your team, you find the right team. Because many times we focus on how people look. Some people look like us, and we look and we have a tendency to gravitate those that look like us. But not everyone that looks like us should be a part of your team. And that also includes in family. You can't always use family for your team. So, yeah, just had to interject.
The alignment is important, right?
The alignment. Yeah. Come on.
The alignment is super important. And
I like that. Super important.
the reason why I think that to having the right people in your spot is because I tended to hang out with people who I never grew up with. This is where it took me into a pathway where I thought destruction was the right way for me. And for those of you who have seen me on one side of the spectrum, which is me being an introvert, quiet, I don't really talk very much. And then there's another side of me, which is very extroverted. So I like to call myself an ambivert. I'm able to go in and out like a caterpillar, and I can feed off your energy. I can, and I feel it. And I'm an empath, and I feel like that is something that I've just inherited. I can feel people's emotions, and it drains me if I'm in a very negative state, which does tend to make your depression traits worse. You either are going to be super angry and not always sad, or you're going to be in a state where you're completely in a vegetarian. It's like a vegetable state. And I've been paying attention to Dr. Ramney, and she describes it as a vegetative state where you cannot function. You don't want to get up. You just want to sleep. You don't have the energy to shower. That's another thing. Like, if you don't want to get up and take a shower, you might want to have some support system. Now, depending on where you're sitting, on that spectrum, people seem to cry out for help. So, you've dealt with a whole lot of different people, Mama. You've helped a lot of people, and people cry out for help and support. But then when it's time for you to help them, support them to get to where they need to be, matter of fact, let me say this one thing. We can't help you do anything. You can help yourself.
I like that.
We are here to motivate and push you into your perspective to being better.
This is true.
Self-love is the most important thing. You must figure out your journey. And there are several different elements: psychologists, psychiatrists, life coaches. But not everyone is going to be for you. You have to find who's in your circle. Once again, we make this whole circle back. Got to find your team of people where you can be vulnerable, because I didn't find the right team of people. I hung out with thugs. I hung out with people who taught me how to steal, who taught me how to lie. I hung out with those people, and it wasn't because I was not raised right. It was because it was a different team in a different circle that I've never experienced before. So I never, ever, ever want to push people away from that experience because I was sheltered. I didn't know any of the things that I knew. Ooh, if Mama used to was just a little bit more vulnerable, I probably wouldn't have done a lot of the things that I did.
If I was just a little bit more. But I wasn't.
And it's fine, because now we talk. Now we have come to this situation where I can call my mom and say, Mama, I dealt with this at work. How did you deal with it? Or I'll call Dad, and I'll say, hey, Dad, how do you deal with this particular perspective when someone is judging you for what you look like and not for the character, or not for your mental state? Like, people judge me every day. You know how hard it is, Mama, for me to walk in and try to get a job interview sometimes because of what they see?
Talk about that.
And not for my resume. See, my resume tells you I can do a little bit of everything. The jack of all trades. I can train, I can develop, I can motivate you.
Absolutely.
I can make an Excel spreadsheet that'll blow your mind. I will also be able to be creative. I'm a trainer. I am a musician at some aspects. But nobody, see, drummer, call me Animal, because it gets live.
Drum. Animal. Well, I'm just saying, Kara, if you're looking at this, which you said you would be, I got to pull you out. Animal, the drummer.
Still have the drums. I still play.
Quad Cities, y'all already know when Andrea was younger, she was the drummer of the church. And girl, guess what?
What, Mama?
They tell us in Chicago that you was one of the baddest girl drummers. They called you the girl drummer. That side of what was that? The Northern Illinois side for the Churches of God in Christ. And I still say she's one of the baddest drummers.
You know why?
Why?
Because of you.
Wow.
Mama played the drums too.
Oh, no, you did throw that out there. Okay, let's just get back to the basics, Andrea. Okay. So what we're talking about now is the self-love and the coaching. And what else? What else do you have there? And in case you're just now joining us, please like and share this video. Like and share, because we would really like for this information to get out. I am a preacher's wife. I am also a preacher's daughter. And it was hard for me. Nevertheless, it was hard for Andrea, but she still insisted on saying, Mom, I want to help you to evolve into what God has ultimately called you to do, and that is to help other preachers' wives and other preachers' kids. And when to get you on board, Andrea, with this call is far from amazing. If you all would just go back and kind of rewind, if you're just not coming in, Andrea was actually telling us, and some of that stuff kind of pinched and kind of hurt a little bit, but it was the truth. Because we can get so busy in church, Andrea, get so busy with the work of the ministry and volunteering, because, hey, we love God. Who don't love God? We love God. And if that's how you were raised, like me, being a preacher's kid, my husband, he's a preacher's kid, that's what you gravitate to. Serving. But how many out there know that sometimes you can also put serving in front of your kids, and you can also deplete it? Andrea, can you talk, just once you get finished with this, a little bit about that depletion when it came to you?
Sure. I'm just going to hit just two more attributes so you guys can know about hidden depression. Another thing is that you're ignoring your over gratitude statements. So gratitude statements are like more of a motivation to yourself. You know, I am beautiful. I am gorgeous.
Wow.
And these are actually really good things to do in the morning and even throughout the day, along with aligning with praying as well. Those are good things.
Oh, yes.
So to circle back, if you have so much gratitude and then you forget the reason for the affirmation, it's meaningless.
Wow.
So it's important for you to have a balance of acknowledging the feelings of pain, because that's the thing. So pain has no color. Pain has no gender. Pain is pain. So that is something that we all can align with. That's why I can say that I help others help themselves figure out that I'm the same as you. Because pain is pain. And I had to look at mom as no longer mom in certain attributes since I'm an adult now. I had to look at mom as she's a human. She has feelings. Yeah, I mean, mom, it took me a while.
That's my daughter.
It was like you had to learn to heal from my past. And keep in mind that healing from your past is a thing that psychologists can help with, because that's your past.
That is so good.
And then depending on where you are in the depression, if you're severe, then there is absolutely no way, shape, or form that you don't know you're severe. And these are some of the reasons or ways you can see that you're severe. You can no longer mask it. So when you go and you do your normal daily, you go to work, do your 9 to 5, you talk, and you're able to just make sure that everybody's okay. You hop, nod, mama, you say hello, good morning to you. I'm glad things are great. And then you go to the restroom, and then you cry.
How right she is.
That's low. That's your low depression. Now let's go into the severity. So the severity, you need to go hand in hand with a psychologist or a psychiatrist, as well as a life coach.
Okay.
So a life coach focuses on the present.
Okay.
We don't pay attention to the past because that's clinical.
Okay.
But we work hand in hand with those people. We focus on the present and we focus on your future.
And that's a life coach.
That's a life coach.
Okay, there's a difference.
A psychologist will focus on talking about your past and helping you with the therapeutical steps in order to get through that particular trigger. And then psychiatrists, they give you the medication. Now, sometimes medication is always not the best thing, but when you're at that stage where you can't get up in the morning, you can't even go to work, or you don't even want to talk to your friends anymore, you kind of need to start acknowledging that it's happening, be vulnerable enough to accept it, because that's the problem. People don't accept the factor that my energy is low today because I'm sad and something must have happened that I didn't want to deal with because I shoved positivity on top of it, and then at the bottom of your cup is still, I'm sad. I've been crying because of XYZ. I lost my job.
Would you say that? Now, this actually is where I was going. Because in this COVID season, pandemic season, you all have lost a lot of people as well as ourselves during this COVID season. Andrea, please, in any of those 3 areas that you feel comfortable with, give the audience some encouragement about the grief of losing a loved one. And you have to remember, in 2020, you had to look through a window pane. You couldn't touch them and say goodbye to them. You know, please help us with that, please.
Okay, from the perspective of, I used to lose a lot of people all the time, and it was because I was affiliated with different types of individuals that I will say loved guns, and loved guns too much because they loved that bag. The bag was most important than the person who they were. So with that being said, I learned several ways in order to, I would like to call it a hollow calorie. You know, when you eat Cheetos, you think it's a calorie, it's not, it's a hollow calorie. And that was hollow information to think that that was a coping mechanism, and it wasn't. So people need to start thinking about some of the things that may trigger them for a hollow mechanism. Like another example would be, I would say, you know, mama, when you go make your smoothie in the morning?
Yes.
Okay. And you're putting all the minerals and nutrients in your smoothie.
Yes.
Right? But what if you make that smoothie that should give you energy, and you just put, you know, let's just say you put Snickers bars in there only and water? What would that do to your system?
Oh, that's too much sugar.
Too
It's
much
no
sugar.
energy in it. And if there is energy, it'll plateau at some point. There's no minute. Yes.
That's what we do on a
Plateau.
daily basis.
Oh,
we
wow.
plateau. And in depression, we plateau.
Wow, Ann.
And that's the thing, you have to acknowledge where your trigger is. Everyone,
Talk about that.
I didn't create boundaries because I wore my heart on my sleeve circling back.
You did,
right?
Yeah.
So that turned into, I want to just fight people, and people didn't know.
Yeah, y'all.
And then it was, I want to just be quiet and seclude myself
Yes.
from everyone because everyone hurts me. Everyone judges me. Everyone is so mean. Why is it that they're so mean?
One of the things is that you dress different.
Completely different.
Completely different. So I try to put a dress.
Jacket on.
So I try to put a dress on Andrea, and she would tell me, "Mom, it's too tight," or "Mom, it's too big." It was always a problem with it. So I said, "I tell you what, go in your room and put on anything you want."
She shouldn't have done that.
And when I done that, let me explain to you. Get ready for the outcome when you tell your kid that. I didn't understand Andrea's personality, and that's what we're trying to get you all to see. There was a cry of desperation, but I couldn't hear it and I couldn't see it, and I gave birth to this child. How many of you that are out there right now have heard your child say, "That's not how I want to dress. That's not how I want to wear my hair." Do, 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 do. See her hair, y'all? "That's not how I want to actually wear my clothes. That's not how I want to talk. That's not the group I want to hang out with." There are people. And when Jesus comes back to rapture the church, he's not coming back after what we have on. He's not coming back after a gender or a person of interest of saying, okay, they wear their hair this way, they wear a head wrap, they wore a nose pierce. He's coming back after a person with a heart that loves him first. He said, "Whosoever will, let him come." Now, I'm not getting into the state of the spirituality as much as we're trying to be transparent of loving your child and being in church. But I am telling the believers, don't get so busy in church that you forget your first ministry. Your first ministry is, she over there laughing, your child. I missed it, y'all, when I was growing up. But right now I have it. Come on, Andrea. Y'all, we got 10 minutes.
Okay, so, Mama, thank you.
You're welcome.
I appreciate you. And I validate you.
I validate you, girl.
I think that it's important that me as a pastor's kid to explain why I got to this point. So, the reason why nothing happened to me.
Right.
It's not like you did anything wrong.
Tell the saints and
I
friends.
have both mother and father. I wasn't abused. I mean, there were some things that, you know, I probably deserved because of the elements of surprise I did to my mother and father. But some of those things, I feel that it wouldn't have made me to the person I am today, which I look at people and I say, okay, you are a person. And the very moment that you just take spirituality out of it for a moment,
just
and
for
you
a moment.
say, this is a person.
This is a person, y'all.
With feelings.
With feelings.
How do I get back to where I was before? Which means you look at a human as a human. Mm. We love sometimes in a weird way, Mama. And let me explain it this way. So love should be diverse. Mm-hmm. It's Neapolitan. Mm. And we make love just one color. Mm-hmm. It's not. It's so many different colors of love. And if we all agree that love is love, mm-hmm. and that you are my mom, mm-hmm. and I am your daughter, mm-hmm. or I am a person and that's what I choose to be, mm-hmm. then we and you can get to the point where we're at right now.
Took me a while though, y'all.
Patience.
So don't hold yourself hostage because you're like, oh, I gotta be like Ramona and I gotta be like Andrea. As believers, we've been taught one way. We've been taught this specific way that God only looks at people, what is this? Horizontally, right? And but God looks at us wholeheartedly. He created us as human beings. Love is an action word.
Yes, it is.
And God himself he so loved us that he gave his only son for us. So he loved us. That means he loved us in spite of our frailties. He loved us in spite of things that we couldn't do. Now, you know we got to get to these questions.
Okay, Mom, get to questions.
But before we get there, the action part of what you're saying about love being a noun, it's an action word. We have to put love into action. So when you came back to me at the age of 30, I think it was 30, you said to me, Mom, I don't hold you hostage. You only did what you thought was right. You only said to me that you were taught this way. So I asked you to forgive me. So that right there was the first part of my healing.
As well as mine.
That I accept you for who you are. You are mine. I don't care what other people say or do or how they believe. I know what the Lord says. He says love first the heart. Am I right or wrong?
You're right.
Okay.
And
Anything
that
you want to add
helped
to
me
that?
from committing suicide.
Do y'all hear that?
So that's important. The factor that she came outside of herself and became something more than herself, past the barriers.
More than the pastor's wife.
The barriers, and a human trait was, I love you no matter what. And then that's what parents need to do, is love their kids, whether
No
they're
matter
gay
what.
or they're confused
Yes.
or they're with an abusive husband. You need to love your kid as who they are. And then that one little piece can change everything.
Yeah, that's it right there.
Everything.
It can change everything. And not only that, let's go to this first question. Listen without interruption. This lady came over and she asked me, she said, how do I listen to my daughter without interruption?
It's hard for mothers. You know, it's really hard for
Can you
moms.
give her some...
So, as an example, the most important thing is for you to actively listen. So active listening is an empathetic trait. It's a soft skill, and that's not, you have to want to listen. Want to listen past the factor of hearing the truth, and it hurts.
Wow.
The truth does hurt, especially when
y'all.
it's coming from your DNA telling you that this is what you fell short on. It is the factor that you open yourself up to being okay with crying and sharing tears with your kid. So the very moment you say, I'm ready to listen, do not follow that up with a judgment statement, because it'll close us all the way down.
That's good. The next question is, how can I be available to hear their childhood pain?
I think the best scenario would be when we actually... I think we talked over the phone one day.
Well, I think we was on a cruise.
Was we on the cruise?
And I wasn't ready to see the letter.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
And I wasn't ready to see the letter.
Okay.
And we went to dinner together, you and I. Just her and I. But I wasn't ready to see the letter.
So there is a time where you try to talk to your parents.
Yeah.
But they're not ready.
That's it. Tell the saints.
So
and the friends.
It took decades.
Decades.
To get to this point.
I would say you was 30-something.
It was the change happened in my 30s.
The change happened.
The complete
Ooh,
evolution
I love this
happened in my 40s. So there's things that had to be healed within my mother's aspects in order to be able to receive some of the things that I was saying from my perspective. And I appreciate you for opening yourself up to receiving the things that bothered me so that I could help other people.
Absolutely.
Like at the end of the day, for a kid to talk to their mother, it was, you were vulnerable. And all I see is an independent woman all day trying to push to get things done. And that's all I paid attention to. I never got to see your vulnerability. And your vulnerability and your transparency, your true core, where you opened yourself and you wore it on your sleeve, is what changed me to be okay with talking to you guys and being okay with helping other people that have gone through what I've gone through. I waited for you to come around because I loved you. That's love, when you wait until they're ready to talk. And then when it's time, you receive the message. Doesn't mean you have to hold it hostage. You receive the message and then you let it go.
Wow.
And then the next part of your journey will become the journey we have right now.
Wow. Wow. I have one more question. But she's almost, you leaving me speechless, actually.
Oh, I learned from you.
Wow. Wow.
Environment plays a big part.
You have to wait until they're ready to receive it. So, if you're just now joining us, the topic is the cry of desperation. And Andrea in the beginning explained that there are two words, of the cry and then the desperation side of it. Please like and share this video. Hopefully I can get Andrea to come back out, because this is huge for Andrea to do this. This is huge. Andrea is so good over the phone. Andrea is good when she's doing her coaching. And I kept peeping behind the veil, saying, if she could do that, God, give me the opportunity so that she could share, that you could share your wealth of information, your wounds, open yourself up to the world. Those are my friends that are in Kenya. Those are my friends that are in Pakistan. Those are my friends in Canada. All of y'all in the DFW Metroplex, even y'all in the Quad Cities, y'all know Andrea. She does not do this. Being an introvert, now she is something else.
Ambivert, omnivert. I can do both.
She can do both. That's what happens when God shapes you.
Yes.
That's why you can't come in and try to shape the thinking of your child. You give birth to them and allow God to shape them. That's the thing. So let's go to our last question, which is number 4.
Okay, Mama, what you got?
The last question, Saints.
Okay.
Apologize in the most heartfelt way, validating and proving to the importance of action. How do we apologize to our children as mothers or fathers?
You did it. You can answer that question.
She's so sweet. I just came out and said it. I said, even for those things that I did and I didn't know I did, I apologize for that. I apologize for leaving you by yourself when you were lonely and didn't understand who you really were. I apologize for that. I apologize not only for not being there, but I apologize for the times you reached out to me and I didn't have the right things to say. I apologize for that. Seen and unseen things, the pain when you went out there and got your education and didn't have the push until later. I apologize for that. I apologize. Oh, baby. That right there. You can't practice that, saints and friends. It's the act of doing. It's the act of actually coming into your own and knowing that this child belongs to God first. You're just loaned to me. You're loaned to me. Our children are loaned to us. And mothers, if you miss that mark and your child has committed suicide and he or she is no longer here, don't hold yourself hostage. God forgives you. Nobody knows that last moment of that child. So don't feel like that child has taken their life and they're ending up in hell. Nobody knows the final moment. The Bible says if it will be possible, it will fool the very elect. But it's not even possible. He said, I wished above all things that we may prosper and be in good health. And he said, I don't want anyone to perish, but that all will come into repentance. So don't judge that end. Don't judge that moment that child took, he or she, their life. Andrea, you want to give us our final words before we end?
At the end of the day, I want to thank you for joining us.
Yes.
And at the end of the day, I want you to know that no matter what is going on right now, the present has already happened. We keep moving forward into the future.
Oh God.
So all you have to do is first, especially if you've had someone a grief as extreme as that. That's a serious grief.
Yes.
You need to go ahead and reach out and get a psychological evaluation and get a counselor as well as a coach. And that coach can help you in the present, but the past needs to heal itself so that you can accept that it's okay that child knew that you loved them.
Come on now.
That's the thing. Like, the last thoughts of a child is, I know my mom loves me.
Come on now.
But I don't love myself. So you can't hold yourself to that aspect. Once again, we are humans and we have our own individuality. We have our own depression journey. There is no quick fix to help with depression. It is something that you take the time out and you acknowledge it and you figure out your triggers and you find people that can help. My institute, where I got my credentials, is the Global Life Institute. They have psychiatrists, psychologists, and they also have life coach like myself. I'm more of a self-love coach. I help you figure out how to love yourself even better. And that's mine through music, because the vibrations of music is in me.
The vibrations of
And
music.
we'll find out whatever your niche is. So that's how I feel.
Andrea, I think we have a few questions. Do you have a time for that before you
Sure, mama.
time off? So Pastor D is in the background, y'all, and he's helping us out. You know, we're always in that training mode because, you know, he's got all these years of experience, not just in pastoring, but in management. So what is that first question, Pastor D?
First of all, I want to say you have people from the Quad Cities, Dallas, San
Hey,
Antonio.
y'all. Hey.
There was, they're sending hello from Davenport.
Hey, Davenport.
D-Port?
Yes.
There was a statement that I pray that Andrea comes back because this is a required dialogue.
Wow.
Thank you.
This is good. Hope said that. She said, yes, I'm an ambivert.
Are you? I figured you would be. See, I knew it.
Hope is actually our goddaughter, and she is amazing, amazing. Go ahead, Pastor D.
Okay, Deborah Adams Stevens.
She's Quad Cities.
She said
I
this-
grew up with her in church, and that's
D-Fuzzy.
She said, this is a ouch moment for me. I can help
That is
and
my
make
dad's church.
difference in others, but not myself. How would she change that, Andrea?
And she's in school. She works with kids in school.
And the question was one more time, Daddy?
Okay, this is an ouch moment for me. I can help and make a difference in everyone else but myself. So you had made a statement that you helped everybody else, but you were falling short for your personal self.
The first step in that is what you've just done. You've made an outspoken request to help yourself. By making that statement of why I do it, you're acknowledging the factor that you should do it. So the best way in order to start fixing or helping you is to write down all the things that maybe you have missed while doing multitasking. And mama, multitasking is not a thing, by the way. You're only going to be able to do 50% of each thing correctly, one thing at a time.
Wow.
Just do it one thing 100%.
That's good.
So
That's good.
one way to help is something that you love to do. So my thing is I like to play basketball from time to time. So I take all of that feelings and I play basketball because it's something that I love.
That's good,
So
Ian.
do something you love. Set a timer. It's you gotta have a goal that's measurable. Set a timer. So bath bombs. I take amazing baths. Just with me, no one around, some nice frequency, 432 frequency, and you calm down. Or massages, or taking a walk. You have to have at least 15 minutes for yourself because you deserve that time, because you deserve to love you. So take that time for you. And then if you need somebody like me to help you, I'll help you identify what those things are, because you're going to tell me, but I'm just going to help you say them out loud.
Wow, that's so good. And you can reach Andrea through LinkedIn.
That's my
At
first name.
Andrea. Is it just Andrea?
Andrea Derrick.
Andrea Derrick.
LinkedIn.
What's the next
So-
question,
so-
Pastor D?
Hope says, when we have the slumber party, Andrea should lead a dialogue.
Oh.
What's the slumber party?
Oh, so yeah, we're going to have a sleepover and chat. And this is true. I hadn't asked her yet, but that will be great. Now that you know, Andrea, that this type of dialogue, and y'all, she has so much more to share, so much more. And the mere fact, again, I said this 3 times, that she's here is making history.
Deborah said, thank you. Wow.
Deborah Adams Stevens. Yeah, that's my sister.
Okay.
Sister for life.
My pleasure, but you're healing me too.
Wow. Wow. Come on, Pastor D.
All
We
right.
have 3 minutes.
I am not a PK, but this is Hope. I'm not a PK.
Oh, this is
but
my
to
friend.
hear about depression and how you turn to the opposite things of life resonates. Self-love is a process that I am doing that even at my age. Cheryl Easley said it's transparency season.
Yes.
Hope
She's the one who's going through the grief.
she said the same, that pain has no color. It was a great point.
Yeah,
Gender of defining characteristics, healing from your past. Yes, a complete meltdown.
Oh, yeah.
Can you, when you come to life and everything's piling up on you, Andrea, and it seems like everything that you try to do works out wrong, and you have a complete meltdown, how do they come back?
I've seen her have one.
So there was a situation in my past where my meltdown was so severe that I had to be hospitalized. I don't know if you remember that. You came. My temperature changed. It was really bad. And it was because I was taking on everyone's information. And I was digesting it as if it was mine. And I was carrying that weight. And I was carrying everything that every person gave to me because I felt like I was supposed to fix it because I'm a fixer. Like, that's what I am a fixer. If you're hurt, I'm going to find a way to fix it. I'm going to fix it. And I kept taking all of that in, and think about what I was taking in. I was taking in everyone's pain. I'm a human being. I am nowhere near God.
Come on, girlfriend.
And I had to start realizing
Come on, girl.
that I'm not God. I'm a human. I can only take so much. So you don't digest it. Never digest someone else's pain because you're going to wonder why you so sad and you was just happy 2 minutes ago. It's because it's not your pain. It's that other person you was sitting there on the phone saying, hey, girl, I know he shouldn't have done me like that, girl. And you're taking it in. You keep taking it in. And you can't expect yourself to grow from any of that because it's not your pain. Stop digesting other people's trash.
That's it.
Please like and share this video. This is some good information. Do we have any more
Okay, we got
questions?
some questions.
Okay,
Hang on with us.
y'all just hang with us for a little longer. Andrea, can you give us a few more minutes?
Here's the question. How should I find a good psychiatrist that's good for you?
There is no easy way to do that. However, there are several different websites. You have your Blue Cross Blue Shield online.
That's good,
You can
yeah.
also go to whatever your actual, or you can go ahead and send me a little message in here and let me know that you're looking for that, and then I can go ahead and refer you. Because again, there's a lot of people
See there, y'all.
at the Global Life Institute that
See there,
already
y'all.
have that. And think about it, there's different versions of different people. So there's different coaches, different psychiatrists,
you,
different psychologists.
Andrea.
You just got to find the right thing for you, and you have to try it. If you try it, didn't work, find another one. If you try it, didn't work. That's just like clothes.
Trying on shoes,
You got
actually.
to try on shoes.
Trying on shoes, too.
I like backpacks. Same thing.
She still like backpacks. Okay, come on with your next question.
There's a statement they love.
A statement?
She loved that how the daughter validated you as mama, and then you validated the daughter.
Oh, my.
How huge is that, Andrea?
It's the healing process from childhood. Every time she validates me, it heals me from something that I might have endured before. So even from mom to daughter, daughter to mom, person to person, because really my mom is a person. So the factor that another person that loves you, validates you, is actually seals the deal of helping you heal as well as the other person. Because healing is a two-way street. People only say, I don't like the word I'm sorry. In my perspective, I'm sorry means I can't do anything and there's no feeling behind it.
Wow.
Right? Because it's automatic. Think
How
about it.
about
That's how we're
that,
taught.
y'all?
It's automatic. So I step on your toe, I'm sorry. Oh, I hurt your feelings, I'm sorry. I'm nice nasty with it. Y'all know what nice nasty is. But you sorry but not sorry. So I like to say when you're coming to an apology or validating another person, it has to be genuine in comparison to something that is pure. So I apologize, or that resonates with me. What you said touched me because we're both being vulnerable. But that's important. A person has to feel okay with the other person, which circles back to you got to find the right individual to help you with your problems. Please don't try to get marriage advice from someone who's single. Please don't try to get advice from someone who's never been depressed. Don't try to get advice from someone who's never had that journey, because they can only give you logistics and scientific skills. They can't give you what life really is. And that is a journey of sometimes ups and downs, ins and outs. you need to find those triggers so you know what to cope with, and I can help with that.
That's good. I got I got two statements that goes into a question.
Oh, okay.
Okay, I have one that says, wow, this is powerful, Andrea. I don't think my daughter has ever seen me vulnerable. Then the question is, from Hope, what if the parent cannot open themselves up to be vulnerable? And how does the child teach the parent?
That's good.
Recently,
That's good.
Mom and I have gone through that.
Yeah.
So you have to be okay with telling your truth.
Wow. She told me that too, y'all.
You have to be okay with telling your truth. And you have to be okay with the criticism you might receive back.
That's true too.
So until you're ready to tell your truth, your daughter can't teach you to tell your truth. You have to be okay with teaching your own truth and accepting whatever it comes back. Remember, don't digest it, but receive the message, hear it, understand it, and then let it go. For those of you who pray, then you pray about that information, because my mom did that. She prayed. When I gave her the information,
That's
she
true.
prayed.
That is so true.
So when you're ready to open up, pray before.
Always.
And if you're not a prayer, meditate, listen to
Meditate,
music, go outside, take a walk before you do things, and then listen. Don't listen with guards. When I tell you, when Mommy stopped listening with guards, she actually saw that I was exactly the same
you
as
said
she
a
was.
mouthful.
So when you're ready, take the step. That's all I can say.
Listening with guards. That was me, saints and friends. That was me.
It's not your fault.
Yeah, but I'm telling you, that was me. I was always okay.
Okay, how can a person find a good psychologist? Is there any way to look up or find a psychologist? Psychiatrist.
So it does depend on your insurance. So if you do or do not have insurance, you can utilize whatever's on the back of your insurance card and find a list. They'll provide you the find doctor's list, and then you'll look through that. So there's no really easy way to find somebody, because it's really up to you. But as I said before, you put your information in the little little link below, and then we'll get with you on the side, and then I'll help find someone that you're looking for, because some people prefer a particular person's energy. So I prefer a person that's positive and uplifting, and not a person who has a deep voice and they're talking like this. So I need to figure out what your particular perspective is on the person that you can receive vulnerability and constructive feedback.
And the fact that you're willing to help is huge. And I can appreciate that you're willing to share your resources with those that are listening. And the way you helped me to be able to heal from my past that's a whole nother conversation in a chat, because a lot of people already know what I went through in my youth, in my young adolescent age. But you allowed me to come to grips with that thing. So now I can see the person who treated me unfairly, who touched me inappropriately. I can see that person. And instead of running at the age of 40, I'm embracing that person with a handshake.
Mama. That's an embrace.
So, but see, and that's the thing. I wouldn't have never learned that had I had those guards up and not have the ears to open up and hear. But I think that came a lot from the way I was trained, the way my parents was trained, and the way they was trained, because they never was taught that you could go outside or listen to your child. They was like, whatever happens in this house stays in this house. And they never said, this is what your dad always says: we are just having a human experience, and God would never punish us for having our human experience. So we have one more question, and then we're gonna log off.
Okay, Auntie Lynn.
Auntie Lynn, that's let me tell y'all who Auntie Lynn is. Let me tell Andrea who Auntie Lynn. Auntie Lynn, this is your niece, your great niece. This is Andrea. Do you remember Uncle Robert, Daddy's baby brother?
I do. Yeah.
Remember his wife?
Yes.
That's Auntie Lynn.
Well, hello.
That's Auntie Lynn, and she's like you. She real quiet, Andrea. She's introverted. For Auntie Lynn to come out, she's always supported Daddy and I. She supported us way before COVID in 2019, and we want to say thank you and give you a shout out. But yeah, what does Auntie Lynn have?
She said, "Love is never saying you are sorry."
Wow.
I want to make sure that you said hello to Auntie Lynn. How
Auntie
does
Lynn.
Andrea coach someone to their future beyond shame?
Wow. And then we're going to end with that one, Pastor D?
I think so.
Okay, let me know, because we didn't want to stay out here an hour. We really only wanted to do 45 minutes.
Okay, so
but we have 55 minutes now.
This is good because people need to.
But if y'all want us to keep going, text Pastor D online and tell him, and we'll just keep going at least until the next 5 minutes.
How does Andrea, thank you, Lady Derrick.
You're welcome.
How does Andrea coach someone to their future beyond shame?
So the word shame is a very descriptive word. And the question I really would have is, why did you choose the word shame? What is going on within yourself that you should feel shameful? I don't just coach. I motivate you to figure out reflection within yourself. So why choose the word shame? Why not choose a different word? Why can't I be different on the inside? Shame is just a very, very descriptive, painful word. So that means that you have some healing that you would need to do. May I ask the person's name?
That was Hope.
Hope, my friend Hope.
Madam Hope, the shame comes from something within. You need to figure out what you're shameful for. Whatever that shame is, you need to forgive yourself.
Speak, Lord.
There's a need, but there's a want to forgive. If you did not want to forgive yourself for that word, because that's what you spoke out, you wouldn't have spoken it out to begin with. Forgive yourself and do something to coincide with that, to deflect from that. Deflect is not a good word. To intertwine with positive beliefs. So shame means I need to figure out something positive to do with that. So I'm secure within myself. The other part of it is shame and then positivity. You're going to always have positive and negative. So you need to find a way to balance out that shame with something positive. So whatever it is,
right there.
and I don't want to say out loud, because the type of person I am is I'm a private person.
Yes, you are.
And I prefer to talk to you with you, because you don't want everybody in your business. I'm not that person. Notice I'm not on social media very often. I get on there, I say happy birthday to people, and I come off because everyone's opinion is not a good opinion. So I don't want to tell all your business. You just need to figure out the question within you is, why are you feeling so shameful? And then there's more questions that we'll figure out.
That will follow.
And that's how we would coach.
And that's how she helped me.
Powerful questions.
That's how she helped me, Hope. And she didn't even know she was helping me when she was helping me. But when I admitted the fact, I wrote a letter to that person and I never gave it to that person. And I said, this is what you done to me at the age of 5, 6, and 7. And this is how you made me feel at the age of 5, 6, and 7. But I no longer hold you hostage for the shame that you put on yourself. Not the shame you put on me, but the shame you put on yourself. Because I forgive you, because forgiveness was that I turned you loose. I turned the molestation loose. I turned the shame loose. And I turned the guilt loose, which allowed me to heal. So you did that, Pooch. Andrea. Oops, that's a nickname.
You can't tell people my nicknames.
That's a nickname.
This is live, mama.
This is live.
Hey, Shonda Oliver is out here.
Shonda Oliver. Andrea knows Shonda Oliver.
Shonda.
They grew up together in the great old DFW Metroplex. So she's my niece, Andrea's sister or cousin. However, we just kin. Where's your brothers? Tell them to log on.
Shonda said you're speaking and teaching. Thank you all so much.
Oh, you're so
And we're gonna
welcome. To
close-
God be the glory.
Hold on, we're going to close with this.
We hope
She said-
y'all
she
have
said, "Hey,
enjoyed
y'all."
this.
She said, hey, y'all.
Tell your brothers to log into this and share it on their page, because we may be able to get Andrea to come back.
And they want that. That's what they're saying. Here's one.
And you got to think about it.
Here's the last and final question.
Last and final question.
It was a statement that was given by Deborah Adams, but
Oh,
I'm pulling it into
my
a
sister
question.
for life. Yeah.
This is for both of you.
Okay.
Both of y'all. Remember, we were taught to be seen and not heard in
This
our
is true.
generations as baby boomers and before. Is that a good way of taking things now in this
I'll
generation
let
that
you
we're
go
dealing
first.
with? That your child should be seen and not heard?
I'll let you go first.
I can thank you for the question and the statement. So I can say that I can, as an adolescent, in particular circumstances, depending on the venue, depending on the people in the circle that you're around, it's good to be seen and not heard in certain aspects. But to be seen and not heard with your family is a crisis.
I'll agree.
So, no. In my generation right now, no, we like to be heard. We like to be seen, but we don't want to be seen all the time. We just want to be validated when we're crying out. That's
I think
how
that's
I feel
safe.
about it.
And I really, and just to even piggyback on that, and Pastor D, I don't mind you coming in and saying yours on that one as well. But to piggyback on what my daughter just said, seen and not heard, we were trained that same way as well. That, you know, you all have to leave. This is an adult conversation. But I tell you, I wish I knew what I know right now, because it would have been such engagement. I would have learned from Andrea. I would have learned from Carlisa. I would have learned from Little Man. But you can't get back what you've lost. You can only start where you are right now. And where you are right now, it could be the beginning of a whole new history for you. What Andrea and I are doing right now is trying to be transparent in our truth. And as Pastor Derrick is getting ready to come over, we want you all to prepare your hearts and minds to receive exactly what he says, because y'all know he gonna seal the deal. We're gonna let Pastor Derrick seal the deal. And thank y'all so much for joining into this conversation on this afternoon. I tell you, this right here has been not only a blessing for Andrea and I, but it's been a blessing, I know, for the entire world. And remember, God would never punish you for having a human experience. Pastor Derrick?
I want to add to that statement. I want to thank you both for giving your hearts and your transparency to the people, because of the fact they see us but don't know us.
They don't know us, baby.
And what I can say is that it takes a true parent to say, I'm sorry. And I think I would say with that statement, we need to change that. A child should not be in a situation where she or he cannot be heard. A lot of times they're crying, but you're ignoring the cry. And I did that being a pastor, doing things in ministry, and my kids were dying right in front of me and I didn't recognize it. I want to challenge you that are really hooked into church to be careful. Now, I'm not saying it's wrong to worship God. That's not what I'm saying. But don't allow yourself to be so busy volunteering for everything and miss your child's basketball game, miss your child's recitals and football games. Don't be so busy, because time is something we cannot get back. And what my daughter has said and what my wife has said is, what makes this right is when you go back and say, I'm sorry when you messed up, parents. You got to be vulnerable in that situation. And please understand this before I close. They have a right to their opinion.
That's right, Pastor.
And you have a right to yours. Remember, they're grown now. They're not that 2-year-old that didn't know what to make a decision with. They are grown. Let them make grown folks conversation. I love having a grown folk conversation with my kids now. Oh my God, I've been waiting on this for a long time, because they can teach you as well as you can teach them. And I want to say to you that are watching all over, I've been seeing people come in from all over the place. Carmen, thank you for coming in.
God
Miss
bless
Virginia,
you.
thank you for coming in.
God bless y'all.
I want to close with this. God has a purpose and a plan for everything, and he uses many different tools to get us help. Please listen and share this video with somebody that you know needs this. And hey, Jose.
Jose, I told them they need to call you and get you on this line. Jose is our nephew, y'all.
So, hey, Andrea Johnson. Hi.
Hey, Andrea Johnson. We went
are-
to church with her.
We're about to close. This is like a family reunion.
Yes.
Angie's behind the scene person. That's who
Angie,
she
and
is.
y'all know that, Andrea Johnson, that this girl does not come out on the front unless it's God
Ordained.
making history.
Yes. Yes, we are twins, Hope. Yep, this is the one
Yeah.
that looks like her daddy. So
Yeah.
I must have
Maybe
gone.
we can get Carlisa the next time.
Yeah, and then who
Or
knows?
Little Man.
Get our son too. Maybe we can get them all three, and then y'all can have a brawl out. So,
Can I say something?
yeah,
Yes,
please.
you can.
So this is how the Derrick family is. And just because we have a few that are off doing their own individual things, I'm the oldest,
Yes.
and I'm just going to say this. We thank you for being vulnerable in this moment. We appreciate you. We love you. Do not hold yourself captive to your past.
That's it.
Focus on your present and your future. And know that people can change. Our journeys are just beginning and restarting. You can change directions. And that's what helped me. And that's what helped them. And that's how the Derrick family came to this point.
Absolutely.
We gonna leave now?
Yeah,
Yes,
let's go.
yes. And like we always say, may heaven smile on you is our prayer. God bless y'all. Have a good Sunday.